Shouldn't you just make other people happy because you love them? Isn't that sort of an extrinsic idea as well? The idea that you're going to be happy by trying to make other people happy? My point is, if your goal is to get happy, and the way you've chosen to get happy is, I'm going to get happy by making other people happy, that seems very strange. Shouldn't you just make other people happy because you love them? There is not one script in this country of how to make yourself happy. I think that's sort of disingenuous. This idea that the only way to make yourself happy is to do that. That's not what people are trying to do. What people are trying to do is be successful. And I don't think they necessarily equate success with happiness, but what they do equate success with is an alleviation of debt, an alleviation of problems, an alleviation of a lot of the issues that people face. And they think of that as, if you look at the problems that you have when you're growing up, you look at especially if you grow up in a poor family, one of the main problems that you face is you're worried about paying your bills. So you say, someday I'm going to get to a point where that is no longer an issue. I'm going to make it. I'm going to be successful. They're not doing it thinking this is going to make me happy. I very rarely see that, and which is one of the reasons why people, even people's parents, and this freaks me the fuck out, will tell them to not pursue their dreams, but instead to pursue something that's more likely to happen. Like, don't pursue your dream of becoming an actor or a singer or whatever it is. Instead, pursue your dream of being the foreman at the company you work at, because that's attainable. There's psychological needs that are just as valuable and important as physical needs. Like, we know we have needs for nutrients. We know we have needs for water. We have needs psychological for all sorts of different things. Our communities are incredibly important. Love is incredibly important. Family is incredibly important. You know, I know some people that are older men that have been bachelors their whole lives, and they're childless, and now they're, you know, they don't have a deep connection with anybody, and they get to this very weird, strange place where they're like, is this it? Now I'm 70 years old, and I've never really had children, and I don't know what to do, and this is my life now. And it's they've all their friends have had families now, and their families, a lot of times the kids are grown up, and it becomes very, very strange. Think about what the Amish are doing. First of all, massive sense of community, right? They're very connected. They're not using cell phones. They're not using email. So the community is also based on one-to-one interaction, real social cues, real social interaction, which is critical. It's a big part of being a human being, and it's one of the more absent things in modern society. 2, physical labor. They're involved in a lot of physical labor because they don't use electricity. They don't use power tools. There's so many things that they don't do. So because of their culture, they're making their own homes, all right? So they have a vested interest in helping each other, working together as a community, and they have a deep sense of satisfaction of constructing each other's homes. You construct my home with me. I help you build your home. They take care of their animals. They take care of their crops. There's a real connection with where they get their food from, a real connection with where they live, their community, the sense of just the sense of belonging to something that's bigger than you. I mean, it's a fucked up thing. I mean, it's a weird thing to say, but I really think we all collectively, as a species, need to emphasize and learn how to be nicer to each other. Nobody teaches you that. It's rare. They teach it to you in school. Be nice. When you go to offices, there's certain standards of behavior that you're supposed to behave in, but there's not like an emphasis on kindness and just being friendly. And I think that doesn't diminish competition. Right. Like, you could be friendly and kind to people that you're competing with as hard as you can. That is also a thing that you find in jiu-jitsu. Yeah, be polite. And when people do that to you, you get a good feeling. You know, when someone holds open the door for you, or someone says thank you. Like, I said hi to some guy the other day. I was walking by him in the hallway of a hotel. I go, how you doing, man? And he just stared at me. And immediately I was like, what? I was angry. Yeah. You know, immediately, like, part of my instinct was like, fuck you, man. Yeah. But then part of me was like, that poor bastard. Right. You know, and I went with that poor bastard. Like, oh, That's his life.
Right.
I just said hi. I'm just trying to be nice.
Yeah.
But he like looked at me like I was almost like I was weak for saying hi to him.
Right.
You know? There's something about religion that can absolutely help some people, and there's aspects of it that are very beneficial. Having that code to live by, you know, even if it's because of the fucking spaghetti monster in the sky, like whatever it is that you believe. But if you really act like that thing is watching over you, and that there's codes and tenets that you have to live by, like most of the tenets of Christianity, if you look at them, if you really follow Jesus' rule, which most people don't, but if you really did, you'd be doing a lot of great work. You know, you'd be helping people. You'd be treating each other as if they were your brothers and sisters. But they knew, even then, even thousands of years ago, they knew there's a right way to do things and there's a wrong way to do things. When you pick up the people's bags, you feel good. Let's tell kids that. Yeah. Let's teach people that. You pick up the bags, you feel good. You hold the door open, you feel good. You help someone, you feel good. Like, okay, this is obviously, we all want to feel good, right? How do we feel? Like, there's moments in my life where I feel terrible, where I've done something wrong, or I've fucked up something, or just failed, and I just feel terrible. And I always think, when I do have that feeling, like, God, I fucking hate this feeling. Why can't I feel great? Why can't I just feel awesome right now? Well, because it didn't go well. And this is like the psychic reminder. This is that jolt of energy that's letting you know, like, hey, you went on a wrong path. You fucked up. You tanked this. You crashed that. You did wrong. Like, you're supposed to feel like shit, right, so that you don't do it again. Yeah. But conversely, when something good happens, when you help someone, when someone can't get their bag in the overhead because it's too heavy, and you help them and you hand it to them, and they smile at you and you smile at them, you walk off the plane, you feel good. Mm-hmm. You feel good. You got to teach that too. Like, you have to remember that, and you have to go, why do I feel so good? Oh, I felt so good because I helped that lady. Yeah. You know, I felt so good because I said hi to that guy, and that guy said hi to me back, and we looked at each other and go, you know, made some niceties or whatever. Yeah. And that's part of the joy of life, right, is those friendly, fun, nice interactions with people. But when you got your shit in order, it's easier to have those experiences. When you don't, my personal experience, when I don't have my shit in order and I've made mistakes and I fucked something up, it's very hard for me to enjoy anything. Yeah. I just go through the motions. I feel like, oh, if I have something that I fucked up, and then I have that terrible feeling, but I have to hang out with my family and my kids, I just ride it out. Mm-hmm. I just have to ride it out. I try to be real friendly and real sweet, but I don't feel good inside. Mm-hmm. I feel terrible. And I go, well, this is going to go away with contemplation, with understanding. This feeling's going to go away, but you got to ride it out, you know? And I know I can ride it out because I've wrote it out before. Yeah. But for some people, man, they don't know what to do there. Right. They don't know what that feeling is. They feel like this is their life. And then that feeling, if you don't conquer it, you get comfortable with it. You get used to it. You get used to failing. I think a lot of what happiness is a management issue, and decisions that you're making right now, like you could be in a shit state of mind right now, but you could make some decisions to adjust that, and over the next couple hours, you'll get to a much better place. And these constant management decisions, they waver in and out of your life on a daily basis. This is something I've cultivated for a long time, and avoided things that make me unhappy, and figured out what those things are, and been very rigid about eliminating them from my life. And one of the big ones is eliminating interactions with people that are negative. When you're around happy, inspirational people that are successful, it makes you feel better and you get inspired. And if you act on that inspiration, your life will be more fulfilled. Through that struggle, I will now have a better day, and I better fucking do it again tomorrow, or do something else. Because if I just think, well, tomorrow I'm just going to coast and eat Twinkies and watch TV. Oh, hello, sadness, my old friend. Hello, depression. Because when you're not doing anything, you feel like shit. And that's just a part of being a human being. And we can pretend that we're something other than what we really are. And we can pretend, nah, me, man, I'm just cool, just chilling, doing nothing. Bullshit. You're a fucking human. You're a human being. You evolved from the fucking hundreds of thousands of years of hunters and gatherers and people that were struggling. Those human reward systems are carved deeply into your DNA. And if you don't respect that, if you don't respect the mechanism of happiness and fulfillment and what you really need to do in order to feel satisfied in life, camaraderie, love, family, friendship, struggle, testing yourself, learning, all those things are imperative. They're all a giant part of being a person.